Hi, my name is Marcel. I'm a director at the Fresh Coffee Company, and I'm going to show you 3 great ways to make coffee at home. First up is the cafetiere. Important to use fresh ground coffee, and the grind that you're looking for is a coarse grind, so it's much coarser than an espresso grind, and it's kind of like almost like a dirt texture. The pot that we're using today is a 8-cup pot. You need 7 grams of coffee per cup, so that goes straight in. And for this, what we're going to do is we're going to pour some water over the top. This is freshly drawn water that is boiled and then left to chill slightly because you don't want it too hot. This is going to release the gases, and you're going to do that for about 30 seconds before you add the rest of the water. So 3.5 minutes are done, and now we're ready to plunge. You shouldn't have to press too hard. If you do, your grinds are too fine. It should just be a fairly steady push. And then we're ready to pour. Whatever you've got left in the cafetiere, I always suggest decanting this, because the coffee's still in the cafetiere, it's going to carry on brewing. So your next cup is going to be bitter and an awful lot stronger than your first. And that's the perfect cafetiere. So number 2 is the coffee pod. It's definitely something we should talk about because there's a few little tips and tricks of the trade that you should know when choosing the right product, and how to get a good coffee out of the machine as well. The reservoir on the back of the machine, change the water every day you're going to make a coffee. Don't keep it there, don't leave it there for weeks, because it will go stale. The other thing is, when you're choosing your pods, make sure you're choosing a pod that contains 100% coffee, because some of them do have other ingredients inside. And a little way of testing that is to place these on in cold water. So as you can see, this one is 100% coffee, and this one has got other bits in it. You can see it's starting to sink. It's also starting to colour the water. So there's probably a bit of instant coffee in there or something like that. So pods really are convenient. Even some Italians are giving them a go. They're clean, they're tidy, fairly inexpensive to use at home. So let's move on to the third one, and that's the traditional mocha pot. So this is the mocha pot, and it comes in 3 parts. First of all, we're going to fill this with cold water, just up to the level of the valve. And then the coffee goes into the filter. You're going to use a grind that's probably a fine grind, like an espresso grind. Fill it all the way up, and you can just level it off. If you need to add more, just put it in. But what's important is you don't tap it down, just level it off. Clean it up and pop it in. Then screw the lid on, and it's ready to go on the stove. It takes about 3.5–4 minutes to brew, and what you are going to do is you're going to brew it with the lid up. And we don't want to leave it unattended. We do want to keep an eye on it. The idea is you don't just walk away and leave it to bubble and brew. So just towards the end, you'll get some bubbles come up, and there we go, ready to serve. There's my top tips. I hope you have some great fun making some wonderful coffee at home.